The Great High Priest. Dear friends, today we will start our journey through the third book of the Bible, Leviticus. In the previous stories, haven't we seen that God gave the Israelites who camped in the valley of Mount Sinai commandments to obey and instructions to build the tabernacle? God chose the Levites to serve in the temple, but specifically chose Aaron's family to serve as priests. God appointed Aaron as the high priest and his sons as priests. This book contains the instructions for the Levites to follow while performing their duties in the temple. There is a detailed description about how the priest should dress, what sacrifice should be made, and what atonement should be made for the sins of Israel. Instead of going through a detailed description of these commandments, we will see what God wants us to learn from this book full of laws and instructions for the Levites. The busiest place in the temple is the outer court. This is an open space with a temporary wall around it. In the outer court, there is an altar for the sacrifices and a basin full of water for the priests to wash and cleanse themselves before making the sacrifice. This basin has a speciality. This was made up of bronze, which was used as mirrors by the women of Israel. In those days, mirrors weren't made of glass as they are now. Instead, they polished metals like bronze and used them as mirrors. The outer court was the busiest place, as the altar to make sacrifices was there. Beyond this is the holy place, where only the priest can enter. In the holy place were the lampstand, the table of showbread, and the altar of incense. The Lord commanded that they should use only pure beaten olive oil to light the lampstand, and that it should not go out from evening till morning. God also commanded that they should change the bread that was kept on the table of showbread every day. And he also gave instructions on how to make the incense that would be burnt on the incense altars. Beyond this was the most holy place, where only the high priest could go, just once a year. In the most holy place was the Ark of Testimony and the mercy seat over it. The high priest could not go into the most holy place, which is separated by a veil, unless he took the blood of an animal, which was sacrificed for himself and for the sins of the people. If anyone breaks God's commandments concerning the tabernacle and enters the holy place, he would die as a consequence. All this shows us the holiness of God and the unholiness of man who is fallen. Whenever the Israelites broke the commandments of God, they used to sacrifice an animal in their place for the redemption of their sins. The blood of an animal couldn't cleanse their sin completely. It just covered it up. That's why God, who is without sin, came down to earth in the form of a man and sacrificed himself on the cross of Calvary once and for all to redeem us, and went back to the Father as a great high priest, thereby giving us complete access to God. We will see how Aaron and his family performed the duties given to them by God in the upcoming stories. God bless you.